Okay, this is part two of the movie clip exercise, sort of picking up obviously where we left off in the part one video. And this is a good place to stop, or sorry, stop and start. We have our movie clip, and actually the step 38, animating a movie clip on the scene, sort of starts with sort of testing to see that what we've done is working. Okay, so it says go to scene one. Go over to scene one in the middle left. Remember we popped from the library to the actual scene. And it says drag the movie clip from the library onto the stage. This is simply just a quick check, and I'm going to sort of show you and demonstrate what the movie clip means in relation to what we're doing here, testing the movie. So step 40, test the movie. So I'm going to control test the movie. And you'll see that we simply sort of have the bird flapping his wings. Okay, I want to sort of differentiate the sort of timeline. The timeline in the movie clip just sort of repeats itself. It just goes over and over and over again, and it appears as if the bird is flying. In relation to the main timeline, if we just have one single frame here, this is basically just sort of standing in place. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is actually sort of make this thing move. So you'll see the two sort of motions that are demonstrated. The first is within the movie clip, which is this, and it has its own timeline. And the second motion is going to be inside the actual scene here. Okay, so step 41 says position this movie clip off the stage to the right hand side. I'm going to minus that out. You can zoom in and out over here on the top right. You can go 100%. I'm going to make this much smaller and move this guy, this one movie clip that we actually had set down there, off to the stage right. Okay, and it says create a motion tween, step 42, create a motion tween from frame 1 to frame 60. Frame 60 should have the bird off the stage to the left. Let's take a look here. I'm going to simply go up to frame 60. Okay, control, insert a frame, I'm going to go back, I'm going to insert a motion tween, I'm going to go to frame 60, and I'm going to move this guy off to stage left. Okay, what I just did there was a simple motion tween. If you need review of that, make sure you sort of take a look back at motion tweens. I'm going to test this just to sort of see if what I did is correct. So I'm going to control test, boom, there's our bird sort of flying back and forth. Okay, now what the following steps here have are simply sort of making, sort of more complicated versions of these, or sort of not more complicated, but other versions of these. It's also introducing or reviewing the idea of layers and a couple other things. So step 43 says insert a new layer, insert a keyframe at frame 30. So I'm going to go to frame 30. Okay, create a motion tree from 30 to 90. Frame 90 should have the bird off to stage left. Okay, so I'm going to grab my bird movie clip again. Okay, maybe I'll put him down here this time. Go up to frame 90. Insert frame. Insert a motion tween. And simply have this guy moving below down to the bottom. Okay, so now my timeline has two birds moving across. You will note, and I'm going to zoom in so you can sort of see this, is that when you move the movie clip across, it only shows the first frame of the movie clip. So you're not going to see, when you're just sort of practicing with your playhead here, you're not going to see that animation happen. Don't worry. When you go to test your movie, you should see two little guys moving across. Okay, so let's see here. Step 46, insert a new layer, and this is going to introduce a totally different concept. Insert keyframe at frame 60. Okay, I'm going to go up to frame 60. And then this time it says, this time place the bird movie clip on the left-hand side of the stage. Okay, And if you're thinking about the orientation of this stuff, you might think, what the heck? This bird's going to be flying backwards. This is where we get into sort of the efficiencies of a movie clip. We're going to use the same movie clip, but we're going to modify it. Okay. So it says make sure you have it selected with the selection tool. So I'm going to click on that and choose Modify, Transform, Flip Horizontal. So we're flipping that guy horizontally, okay, and simply so he's facing the right-hand side. Okay, create a motion tween between frame 60 and 120. I'm going to go up to 120. Create a motion tween and have this guy off to stage right. Okay, so again, I always like to test these things. Let's see how we did. Bird number 1, bird number 2, bird number 3. Okay, so you can see with one movie clip, we've created sort of 3 unique tweens here on the stage. Okay, last one is going to be starting at steps 50 here. It says insert a new layer. Insert a keyframe at frame 90. Okay. Create a motion tween. A motion tween from 90 through 150. Frame 150 should have the bird off to stage left. Okay. So we're going to go up to 150. So just going back to kind of the original, bird off to the right. Okay. And this one I'm going to have, I don't necessarily have this in the directions, but I'm going to have him sort of fly diagonally. Okay. Now, so we just have another simple motion tween there. It says step 53 here. It says click on frame 150. Okay, click there, and then it says step 54. Click on the free transform tool. That's this tool right here. It's a little arrow with a box around it. Okay, we're going to click on that tool. Okay, and it says hold the shift down on your keyboard and pull one of the quarters to make the bird considerably larger. So we're transforming this. Okay. And I might position him to make sure he's off the stage. So within this tween, we've modified it. Okay, we've changed it so that frame. Let's see here. I guess we started at 90 to 150. This bird is going to become considerably larger. Okay, so let's control test this. Sort of see where we got bird number 1, bird number 2. Bird number 3, and bird number 4 that gets considerably larger. Okay, so with some simple modifications in that case size, later we can deal with the sort of opacity of that. You can make things change color. We're going to take this movie clip, and again, you'll see the sort of note at the bottom. Make sure you have your movieclip.fla. We're going to work on this same file and sort of expand upon it next week. You should have at this point, or at that point next week, enough to sort of think about heading into Project 1 in terms of making some simple animations. And again, you'll see Project 1 next week. Any questions, concerns, please ask online or ask via email. Make sure you have this SWF in the week 4 Dropbox for next week, Monday at midnight.